Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called The Jailhouse Lawyer by Calvin Duncan and Sophie Cull. At 19 years old, Calvin Duncan found himself incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit. His life up until that point had not been easy, but things became much more difficult from there. While he could have turned to more difficult paths while in prison, however, he decided that he would follow a different route. He decided to learn how to read better and to learn the American justice system, as well as how to work within it in order to better himself and the lives of the people that shared his situation. As the years went by, he became more adept at his skills in advocacy, not only for himself, but for others as well. And when the time finally came for him to leave prison, he turned to a new life where he could continue serving and benefiting those in his situation for years to come. This nonfiction book is weighty read. It is one that focuses on the American justice system from inside of a prison cell and how things feel, especially when inmates don't have a lot of awareness of how the law works. So, with Calvin as a guide, readers are navigating through his decades of incarceration and the things that he learned along the way, the obstacles that he faced in his path, and also how he ultimately continued persevering because he believed so deeply in what he was doing. The book is written for a mature audience. There is some strong language and also just some difficult passages in the book, but for anyone who's interested in learning about the American justice system and how the law works and how things can be adjusted, shifted, and manipulated in ways that will make a difference, this is a really important story because they can see everything through the lens of someone who's been through it themselves. So each section of the book focuses on a different point in time for Calvin and his life, and it walks through the very beginning, the middle section as well when he's been in prison for a long time, and then ultimately to the final resolution. So there's not a whole lot of white space and the text is fairly small, but the story is readable. It has a lot of really personal and accessible elements to it. So young adults with an interest in the law will find this book to be captivating, as well as adult readers who have an interest in this subject matter. And because it is told in a narrative style through the lens of Calvin himself, readers really get to step into this world if they've never experienced it before, and it makes everything a little bit more palpable and makes readers question and think about how things are done and what that means for the people who are involved. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.